Hi guys, Greg Halbrick with Circle H Agronomy and Seed. We're going to try something new. In addition to the newsletter that I've been putting out, I thought I'd make some quick YouTube videos covering some of the challenges, things you guys have been seeing in the field, questions, concerns. This one, to kick it off, is going to be on delayed corn planting or switching to an earlier maturity hybrid. So before we get into that question, let's just look at the current state of where we're at. Up to this point, we haven't really had an opportunity to get anything in the ground, nor has the conditions been favorable for us. According to local research site data, we have yet to get to that 50-degree soil temp level at 2 inches needed for that corn seed to germinate. And we've also got frost still in the ground. Frost under bare soil starts at 19 inches and goes down to about 36 inches. So there's a chunk of frost that's still sitting in the soil profile. But with that being said, why is there a reason of concern? Why are the questions starting to arise on a planting day? Well, based off of a year ago, we were already getting started and we were starting to scratch the dirt and get things in the field. And we look at an 8 to 10 day outlook and things don't look as promising with some cooler weather still in the short-term forecast. But it all hinges on, is that crop going to reach physiological maturity? Is it going to reach black layer? And is it going to reach black layer prior to that first killing frost? So there's a couple variables. It's our planting date. That's a moving target. It's the growing season. We don't know how many heat units we'll achieve in a growing season. And if we look at a year like 2021, we had enough heat units in 21 where you could have planted a full season hybrid all the way into late May. And then the third is, when will that first killing frost be in the fall? A 30-year historical average says in Renville County that's going to be on October 10th. But the last few years, that's trended later. We've had a lot of heat units late September, early October, and we've pushed that first fall freeze date back. So we've had a nice growing season the last few years later into the year. So that's why it becomes a concern. That's why it's on our mind, is we're pushing back that planting window and we're in fear we won't have enough heat units with the high channel hybrid that we have on farm to reach maturity. But no season's created equal. So what tools do we have at our disposal to make a better decision? Well, there's an awesome tool that I'll share in the comment section as well as in the video here, that's been put together by universities in the Midwest that help us make a decision on growing degree units based on historic averages. And it gives me the ability, it's a model, gives me the ability to put in my planting date, as well as the information that the given channel hybrid I have chosen. I can put in the silking date, I can put in the growing degree units to reach black layer, and all of that information put together will model out and build a graph on, will I reach it before the black layer, based on averages, based on climate in the past years. Or you can compare it to a year like 21, we've had massive amount of heat units, or you compare it to a year like 2019, 2009, where we were shorted on heat units, and give you both ends of the spectrum. But it's a good way to take emotion out of the decision and look at hard numbers that have been collected over the last number of years. So, brings me back to my original concern, or your original question, should I be switching maturities? And I'll have three things for you here. One, we placed that original channel hybrid for a reason on your farm. It came down to being the best fit for your soil type based on the characteristics, agronomic characteristics you needed: early season emergence and vigor, overall disease package, late season root and stalk structure and integrity. We picked that original hybrid for a reason, to give you a well-rounded look at a channel hybrid within your farming operation. So I always stick to that original plan as long as I can. Two, take emotion out of it, like I said, and look at the decision-making tool that I have linked here. But when I look at that and I plug in specific channel hybrids, a 99-day, 103, 105, 107, even 108-day, I feel confident up till about that mid-May standpoint that we keep with the original plan, because all of those would reach the needed heat unit accumulation prior to a killing frost. And then the third thing to think about is, your operation, the size, the amount of acres you can put in a given amount of time. Don't make decisions on switching hybrids like we did 10 to 15 years ago, because more than likely you're not using the same equipment to put corn in the ground that you did 10 to 15 years ago. We're very efficient at planting given the opportunity of a window, and so we can hammer out a lot of acres short amount of time. And that's why I would hate to rush to push into an early maturity product, given that we can get things in a timely fashion still at this point. So we'll hope for warmer weather. If you don't feel comfortable with what you have on farm for a channel product, please reach out, give a call, shoot me a text. I've got a lot of options in some earlier maturity products. We can have that conversation, but I think at this point we stick to the plan and hope for some warmer weather.